Thank you for sitting with us for the interviews. Let's start by introducing yourself. Can you please tell us your name?
Okay, yeah, my name is, on the paper is Sophal VONN, but people call me Sophia. Okay, and I'm originally from Vietnam, Nha Trang, since I was 4. I migrated to Cambodia, when I was 4, and I stayed there until the communists took over, which is 1979. No, sorry, 1975. Sorry, yeah. And then I was with the communists from 1975 until 1979, which is April 17, 1979. And life was tough at that time because I was only 12 years old. And the way the communists had run the country was like they separate us, I was only 12, right? So they took us, like especially me, they took me from my parents to stay with the group of 13 and up. I stay in the big open house, which means that there were about 500 people lived together at that time. I think they have the what they call is the dictatorship rule, that they organize it that way. So when I live with the group of 500 people like that, we have, first of all, there's no room, no blanket. The food that I have to eat is what they call is we have to eat in the collective eating food. You know what it means? Collective eating, that maybe eat together. So you're not allowed to make your own food. When it's time for, we have no breakfast. When it's time for lunch, we either have lunch around 12 or sometime like could be 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's tough. When I said it's tough, because we have to wake up from 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to start to work at the farm. I work at the rice field. I work at the rice field from 3 or 4 in the morning until 12 at noon. That's the time that I can have lunch. And I was so young at that time. And the food that I can have was only all kind of vegetable that mix. Hardly to see a piece of rice in there. No fish, no meat, no nothing. I live in the society that what I can say is malnutrition, malmedication, no education whatsoever to start with. Yeah, it's tough. And for 3 years and a half, all I knew is what we call is a mobile worker. That means I has been moved from one place to another to do the job as the rice planter, or the rice crop in the farm. Yeah, from one province to another province. And then one time I remember, I believe it was in the mid of 1979. I was so starved that for 7 days I have nothing to eat. And I saw the papaya tree fell on the rice field, right? A lot of people pick up the good one, all the big one, all the good one has been gone. So all it has been left just a small piece of papaya fruit, small one, the young one. So I pick it up. Then I got tortured badly by just starving me like 3 more days not to have anything, no water, no food, because of my background too. Yeah, and then I think a week or months later, they tie me up for, I believe it was 1 night and 2 days. And during that time, they will torture me by just using the red ant, you know, the red ants. You probably know about the red ants. That
Can you
it's
describe it, how it looks like?
it's red, more like the black ants here, but it's red. And then they let the red ant come out from the net 3 or 4 of them at the same time, just to bite me when they tie me up. That because of my background, I really have no idea. I mean, like before the war, I was living in a happy life with my family, and I was the only child in the family at that time. But because of the history that maybe I'm half Vietnamese, half Cambodian, and I had a good family lifestyle too. Maybe this is why they torture me that way. Yeah.
What else did they torture you?
Forced me to work in the farm all the time. Sometimes I work, as I said, from 3 until 12 at night. No sleep, no nothing. Then in the morning again, I don't have to come back home. I don't have to come to the place that I stay with the group. I sometimes have to sleep, you know, on the in the jungle, which means that there's a bush that we can sleep in there. No mattress, no nothing. No roof. The roof is my sky there. No wall, no nothing. Sometimes I woke up, I saw there's this cemetery right there, which I didn't know at night. Because at that time people got killed, so they bury the people all over the place, right? So we keep on going from one place to another. So as soon as that they know that, okay, well, you guys can sleep here or can find a place to relax for now until 3 in the morning, then keep on going to work again. That's what it is.
And so when the Khmer Rouge starts coming in to take over, you
12.
mentioned that you were 12.
Yeah.
As a 12-year-old, what did it make you to do? I mean, I understand that you had to work in the rice fields, and what else did make you to do?
I think I has been selected to be in the group just to be in the rice field. What they call is there's a group that work in the garden. There's a group that work as a, you know, in the rice field. So I was selected to be one of those. So my job is just to make rice 3 times a year, I believe. Yeah, 3 times a year. It's not just 1 time a year. So they have the, what they call is they have the heavy rice crop. They have the early rice crop that they can have the rice, I think around 3 months or something like that. Yeah, and some of them is last up to 6 months, 7 months, I'm not quite sure. Yeah. The rice field is the most important job for me. Not just that, actually, there's one thing I forgot. They asked us to build, after the rice field, I think they asked us to dig the ground to build up what they call is I'm not quite sure what they call, but I think they're trying to build up the water, like so that they can stock the water in there. more like a fountain or something like that, but it's in the ground. Yeah, sometimes they measure 10 meters per person. Even though I was at that age, it doesn't matter how old you are. They're gonna keep on measuring the length of the ground that you have to finish it. One day is 10 meters. And if you couldn't finish it, one time they might let go, second time they might let go. After the third time, they're gonna kill you. Because you not perform well, you cannot handle all these jobs. That means you were having a good life, you're not the farmer. That's what they said. You were not the farmer. The farmer normally could finish most of the job like that, right? So the kid like me, doesn't matter farmer or not farmer, how am I going to finish all of that, right? So this is why they keep an eye on me to see how I perform from what task they assign for me. And at the end, that's why they torture me. They almost kill me anyway, almost.
Can you describe where they take you?
I was escaped from the group at that time because I knew that I might got killed if I stayed with them. So I escaped from the group, running away from the group that I was with, to stay with my cousin's sister's house. And they found me. So they came and got me from my cousin's sister, not my sister, sorry, my cousin's sister, and they tied me up from there, from her place, and dragged me all the way down to the group, from my cousin's place to the group that I stay with.
How did they find you?
I think they have what they call is the, I had that word, I don't know. It's more like a spy. Among our group, it's always a spy. So I cannot say anything that not suitable. I have to be very careful about what I have to talk and what not. You make one mistake, your friend or the one amongst you might just report it to the superior people there, and that's it. You are dead meat right there. Yeah.
Can you take me to that moment where they found you and they took you back to the field?
All I knew was like when I was hiding in the room in my cousin's house. That house is not my cousin's house. It's called a government's house that they provided to us to stay at that time, right? Like for her, because she's married, so she has to stay with the group that's married. For us, we are single and we're young. We have to stay with our group. So they found me by just going to my cousin's house, and there's no door at that time. Even though it's just a door, it's a straw door. You know, they can just open at any time. So they opened the door and they saw me there. They just grabbed my arms and they pull and try to put my arm this way. And they used the string that they use for the buffalo. You know the buffalo, right? The cow. They used that to tie me up. And all I knew is my arm is like this. They keep pulling me really hard. One push behind, the other one pull. Look like I'm just the animal at that time. Yeah. And then when they brought me to the place, I knew I'd been hit badly. They hit me with, I don't know what it called, that one, the one that we used to harvest the rice, the one that's kind of curved like a knife that you use that to harvest the rice. I got hit by that 3 times until I faint down.
Where did they hit you?
I believe on my back, from the back. Yeah. Yeah. And then after that, they dragged me to the rice field to let me sit there. So they asked the group of my people to pull the rice and then knock at me, knock on my face. Yeah. And then the next day, they decided to release me. I mean, like I already told you that they tortured me with the red ants, this and that. The next day, they released me, and they asked me to pull the rice before the rice that we have to plant to get the rice crop. They asked me to pull for at least 40 bunch, and I asked them to kill me. I was up to the limit that I said, you can kill me. You don't have to torture me that way. I have enough. It hurt. And I cannot do anything because I got scar on my arm, it's done. And I just said, you know what, please kill me. I don't want to live anymore. Just go ahead. But they decide not because they want to torture me more. And then I was so lucky. In 1979, I heard that the Vietnamese government were trying to help Cambodian people. I didn't know exactly what happened, but as soon as I heard that they have us get away from the life that we gone through. They are so smart. The communists, they torture us with the gun. They ask us to go. I have no idea where I have to go. But all I knew was like there's a gun behind us. They're not going to shoot us. But in case if we try to run, to stay with Vietnamese government or whatever, or government soldier, Vietnamese army or whatever, then they will kill us, right? So I was walking toward the border of Thailand. From the beginning, I didn't know where I have to go until I reached the border. And you wouldn't believe how the border that I was in is called Phnom Malay. That is the most dangerous place that people also got killed by either gun shooting or there's a bamboo thorn that they made it and they bury underneath the ground. You make one step mistake, you're dead right there. So we have to walk and follow just the footprint from the first people who lead us. You off track a little bit, you will hit the bomb, you will step on the bomb, or you will step on the bamboo thorn that they make it with the poison at the end, very sharp. And when you fell into that, that's it, you're done. And I faced a lot of people who die in front of me. But I have to close my eye and keep on going. I stayed there for from 1979 until 1981, when the United Nations opened the refugee camp for us. If it wasn't Vietnamese who tried to come on time, we all dead. And we won't be here also.
Can you tell us more when you tried to get to the Phnom Malay? Was that
Phnom Malay, yeah.
Were you by yourself?
We come with the group that I was with. Oh, the whole country, the whole province that I was in, that's including the adult, the kid, myself, and the group in my group also came, because they, like the Coeurs, I don't know if you heard about it, the Coeurs asked us to move from that province, just move. I think they believe if we stay there, we probably have to run to Vietnam or something like that. So they ask us keep on going, go, 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 go before anything happened, right? We have no choice but to listen to the order. So we keep on, the whole country, I think at that time, either some of them escape to Vietnam, some of them have a chance to come to the west or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but my province, the province that I stay in, to the western, which is Thailand border. And I think it took us like at least 3 months just to reach the Phnom Penh destination there. It's not just a one day going. We have to keep on going, then stop, keep on going, then stop, because maybe they didn't even know where they have to go also. So we take an order from them. Stay here, okay, we stay here. The next morning, if they say go, we go again.
Can you recall how many people in your group?
I think there were at least maybe 50,000 people, if I'm not mistaken, because it's not, even though Battambang province is a big province also, but there's a hometown, right? Like they have their hometown, they have their village. So those people from Battambang city move back toward the Thai border, because it's not them that wanted to. It's not me that I wanted to. We were ordered to leave, to evacuate the whole city or province, to follow them.
And as a girl, you had no idea where to go.
No, just I have only one pack of we carry on the shoulder, like one pack of. It's more like a basket that I put a little bit of, maybe one pen, or it's not like a pen. Oh my God, how do I say that? More like the soldier when they use it is cabal. That's what they call. I don't think they have it in English though. They might have it, but that's what I was carrying, just in case if I need to pick up the water to drink, or if there's a food, I might cook the food with that.
Can you describe that cabal?
It's kind of square. It's about this high. It's about this wide, I think. So people use that to cook. If you watch Killing Fields movie, you will see that. And the most important thing that I carry with was my dad, the syringe that he buried, and the picture that we had in the past. Before the communists took over, I carried only those things, and my dad's clothes, a couple of them that I carry with. Nothing to carry. They won't allow you to carry anything. Then while I was living in Phnom Penh there, which means that there's no house, no nothing. We have to build our straw house just to stay there, just up the ground a little bit, so that the snake or whatever won't bite us, right? So I lived with my aunts at that time. We found each other. We bumped into each other after we arrived there. So back and forth for 3-4 months, I bumped into my aunts and my cousin. Yeah, and then I have a chance to stay with her. So that's the time that she asked us to build a straw house to stay in that area. But still, I have to work for the communist regime again. I have to go to get the bullet, the bomb, and carry it to the jungle for them again. Even though I met my aunts and my cousin sister, but my job is still a mobile worker. Yeah.
Why they made you carry?
We still under their rule, right? We still live under their rule, even though we escaped from Cambodia. But we escaped because they ordered us to leave. And when we arrived at Phnom Penh there, such a Coeurs army got us doesn't matter where we're going, they will get us there. If we try to be cross the border to go and work as the, let's say, just to get a little bit of food or the money from Thai people, you will get killed right away too. Not allowed. We only do something that they order us to do. And I work as the bomb carrier from 1979 until 1981.
So let's get back to Phnom Malay. Can you describe what it's like over there?
There's no road. We just have the path to walk through it. Phnom Malay is the place that a lot of people got malaria. Could be like because of the dirty water that we drink. Even though it look really clear, we have one of the canal, just the water stream that run there, but you cannot just drink pure water from there. You have to boil it and drink. But if you boil that water and you keep it for a while, you will see a lot of how do we say that? It's just more like a cement build up in the water, which is not. It was not a clean water at all. So people got I think it's a stone in their gallbladder or all kind of thing. And all I saw is just like, it's just a jungle, a lot of trees, a lot of bushes. Like the tree was so big and very, very high, those kind of things. You have no place to grow anything because that's not the place that you can grow something. First of all, you have no seed to grow, let's say vegetable or anything, right? During that time, when I was living with my aunt there, we tried to escape from the Khmer Rouge 3 times. Tried to escape just to cross the canal there to find a place to see if there's any refugee camp, because it's a word of mouth saying that there's a refugee camp open somewhere, in Thailand. So we escaped by just connected with Thai people. We had no luck for 3 times because when I first escaped with my aunt, they asked, like Thai people, it's not the government, Thai people asked to get at least 1 ounces of gold per person. And I think my aunt, for some reason, she know how to hide her gold at that time. She's the daughter of the major people. Yeah. And for some reason, I have no idea how she got her gold out in order to escape from the Khmer Rouge and carry with her through the Thai border like that. I have no idea. But we only can manage to escape 3 times and no more gold, no nothing, and that's it, we stuck. First time when we escaped, Thai people lure us to stay in one of their garden, which is banana garden. They told us not to cook, they told us not to do anything, they will give us food. They normally brought us food anyway, like just so that if we cook, the smoke will signal the government, right? So we not allowed to cook. We ate the food that they provided to us. And then until 1 month later, after they collect all of the gold and everything, first of all, they couldn't find a place for us to go. Secondly, they returned us back to Phnom Malay. And at that time, that is a nightmare again for us. We didn't know if we go back, we're going to get killed by the Khmer Rouge or not. We were so worrying each time we tried to escape. The first time we escaped, we were like the Thai people returned us back to Phnom Malay. Lucky that at that time they did not really care about where we were going, or or they're not really into detail to find out, where have you been, this and that. We were lucky, so we saved from that time. Second time, we were saved again. Third time, we saved, but then the United Nations opened the camp on time to kind of like to make the announcement that right now they have the camp, the refugee camp for us. So anyone who is the base, what we call is the base people, like not the army, can go and like find the refugee camp by ourselves and stuff like that. So as soon as we heard that, my cousin, my aunt tried to escape from that right away, just to go and get over with our life from the communist regime. And this is how I got into the refugee camp. I went to, first of all, Sikil refugee camp for 3 months. Then I went to Srakau number 1 and number 2 for maybe 4 months. Then I went to Mairut camp for at least maybe 6 months. And then Chunburi camp before I came here. And that's it. I arrived here in April 27, 1983. I came here by the United Nations people anyway. I have no sponsor, but United Nations people were my sponsor at that time. Yeah, I arrived here with my broken education, with my English broken language. I started my life here. Went back to adult high school, which is high school of commerce at that time, to get my high school diplomas. I have 4 kids, and I pursue myself to college to get my certificate also at Algonquin College. My kid almost, there's only one more left to finish school. The rest is already done. I have my house, I have my kid, beautiful family, so I'm happy here. I think that's all my story for today.
Well, before we finish the conversation, so let's get back. Let's talk more about when you arrived before you arrived to
Canada.
Let's say to Chunburi, because you had to move several camps. I mean, why you had to move a lot? From one
I
camp to
skipped the
another?
part that I skipped the part when I escaped from the communists. As soon as I heard the United Nations open the camp, I skipped that part. Well, yes, we all have to kind of cross the river and stay in a place that there's no house, no nothing. It's just the water that's been provided, the food's been provided from the United Nations and stuff like that. First of all, they will interview you to see what kind of languages you speak, and So I did. The reason why I have to go to CQ refugee camp was because I speak Vietnamese. At that time, I thought I will get a job, because I saw some people work as the translator. So I tried to use that language to see if I'm gonna get a job so that I can have food, enough food to eat, or work with the American people or Canadian people or Australian people, so that I don't know, at that time I was so young, so I have no idea if all I knew is I want to get a job as the translator, so I can go from, to translate for the people. Let's say, okay, what's your name? We have refugee camp now. Which camp do you want to go? This and that. But from the beginning, we have no idea what camp were available for us at that time. So I chose to speak Vietnamese, and then the guy that kind of like the director or the one who in charge for that. Okay, you speak Vietnamese, you stay with this group. Whoever speak Chinese, stay with this group. Whoever speak with Cambodian, stay with this group. So my aunt, she speak Chinese, so she stay with the group of Chinese people. My cousin sisters spoke Cambodian language, so she stay with Cambodian language, stay with Cambodian people. I spoke Vietnamese language, so they put me with the group of Vietnamese people there. At the end, as soon as they have enough people to import or export to the camp, so my group has been put to 3 big van, like the big van, and at least 20 van that pick up the people for Chinese or Cambodian people. And I can see that there were a lot of Gant, like also the Khmer, they try to escape too. So they carry their gun. And the United Nations said, if you want to come to the refugee camp, you have to put down your gun. So they pile up their gun like a mountain. So they also became a refugee people. You didn't even know who and who at that time, right? And this is why first they export me to CQ refugee camp. Then I realized that because I used to stay with my cousin, my aunts, right? So I asked to come back to my aunts. So I stayed there only for 3 months. Then they moved me back to Chinese refugee camp because my aunt, she was in Chinese refugee camp. Then when they found my aunt, because there's always connection at that time, because they know that, they know that, okay, well, I select this girl from this group. And at that time, there's some people went to Srakau, they call Srakau refugee camp. So they try to find my aunt and my cousin sister in that refugee camp. So yeah, they met my aunts. But because the refugee camp was so small at that time, it was full. So they put me close to the toilet. Now I'm kind of more released, more like a fun of talking about this because, the toilet at that time is not the toilet that you can flush the water. They dig the ground more like a canal. Mm-hmm. And when people, let's say you need to go to the bathroom, you just need your sarong, right? It's called sarong to cover you. Or if you have scarf, big enough, you cover you and you sit, I sit, everyone sit, man or women, kid or whatever, doesn't matter, we use the same. It's gonna go down there, right? No water to splash or anything. You just bring your own bottle of water and clean yourself, or you use something to clean, maybe just a piece of paper or whatever. People use different kind of thing. And then, because I couldn't bear the smell there, I asked them to export me to Cambodian camp, refugee camp, which is my cousin's sister. And then that's I stayed with my cousin's sister for at least maybe 4 months. Then, like at that time, there's a ambassador from different country they will come to the refugee camp to pick the people to go to their country, right? So they will interview you. If you could speak English, or even though you couldn't speak English, they will let you go to their country, especially in the United States. Because when you go for an interview, you will have the translator to translate it for you. But for me, when I came to Canada, before I came to Canada, I fell from U.S. government. They rejected me.
How so?
It's a long story. Like I think maybe because I was young, and when I had an interview, I didn't know how to respond to their question quite well, and it's a kind of contradicted myself. So they rejected you. They rejected me.
So the first time?
The first time I was trying to go to the United States.
Was it your choice?
I didn't know anything. So whatever available, if they say, the government from the United States need this much of people. So the people who ran the camp, especially Thais people who ran the camp, will tell the refugee camp, yeah, this country will need 500 people, or this country will need 500 or 600 family or something like that. Anything that available first, people will apply for it, like myself and the other people like her or anybody, right? So I got accepted when I applied for it, but then when I had an interview, I failed because at that time, it's just my cousin and cousin lived together, and it didn't match about what we said. When they interview me, they didn't interview the whole, like us together. They interview like one by one separately. So of course, I might say, okay, my city is this, so the other one might say the city is this. You know what I mean? And it's hard to blame, because at that time we were so young. We say whatever we say, just want to get out. We didn't know anything at that time. Then because I got rejected from the ambassador of the United Nations, American, I applied to come to Canada. I applied to go to Australia. Different kind of country, but I got selected to be here. Yeah. In the refugee camp, I work with the Coeurs department also.
How old were you?
Oh, well, at that time I was 18, I think, 18 or 19. Yeah, big enough to find a job. Because I lived with the communist regime. When the communists took over, I was 12. So I lived with them 3.5 years. That means 15 and a half. Then I lived in the jungle for another year, so 16. By the time that I arrived in the refugee camp, I was 18 or something like that. Yeah, but 18 at that time, I was such a baby. Small, just the bone.
So when you arrived at the camp, you were in the Thai side, in the border.
Thai border, yeah. Thailand border, yeah.
And you stayed in there for how many years?
1981 to 1983, which is April something. So I arrived here April 27, 1983. 1 year and, well, back and forth, I think 81, 82. I can say like 1 year and a couple months, right? No, 82. From 81 to 82 is 1 year. 83 is 2 years, 2 years and something. Yeah.
Can you describe the camp where you stayed?
I was so happy when I arrived at the camp, because at least I can I get some food from the United Nations, and I have school. Like they open school with all kinds of school. You can go to English class, you can go to Cambodian class, you can go to French class, you can go to Thai language class, Japanese, anything in there. It depends on where you want to go.
Which one you choose?
First, I chose to go to Japan, and I went to Japan school for 3 months. I found that that's not my language. I found it's too harsh to talk. Then I tried to take a French class for 2-3 weeks, and then I realized, because I applied to go to France, nobody called me. Then I said, it's not worth it. And then I got accepted to go to the United States, and so I said, why don't I just take English? So I took English from there.
How long did it take for you to register when you take a class?
Doesn't take long at all. Like, class is open to everyone in the refugee camp. Adult, kid, people who married. As long as you have time, you go at your own time. You can go in the evening, you can go during the daytime, you can go, they open not 24 hours. They open from the morning until the class that I attend after work is from 6 to 10. So that was the class that I normally went to, because I work during the daytime. And then I went to English class from 6 to 10, just to improve my English language, so that if I have an interview, I'm not going to fail because of the language. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be fluently in English. You're going to be like all over the place anyway, But at least you can communicate with the people, like the ambassador. They have level 1, level 2, level 3 before you come to Canada. Like when you have an interview, it's not just the one table that you have to go through. They will interview like the way you interview me, but it's not just one person or it's not just one table. You're gonna go, you pass the table number 1, you will go to table number 2, and then table number 3. They have their own level to go.
So once you pass at every level, did you receive any
Yeah,
certificate?
they will post your name on the wall where they call it UN department there. You go, you have to go there and check by yourself. They will make the announcement. Just, they have the microphone. No, not the microphone. I think it's microphone. The big microphone with the truck that they go around the camp. They say, well, people who had an interview on this day, like, go check your name. The name has been posted now. Maybe you got accepted or maybe you got rejected. So you go and check there. So I went to check my name when I applied to come to Canada. I saw my name and that's it. I said, that's it, my life is over. I'm happy.
So while you worked at the camp, did you also receive any compensation?
From the beginning, we don't have, like, the compensation is just like clothes, some MSG, some sugar, toothbrush or toothpaste. That's it from the beginning. Then after that, like, that's only for a short time, and after that they give you $300, 300 baht, not dollar, 300 baht. I didn't know what was equivalent to in Canadian money or in US money at that time. I have no idea. Probably around like $80 something, or $60, I think. Not quite sure. Yeah.
That's only when you finish your shift during the day, or?
Oh no, like 1 month. That's for 1 month. You only receive one package, small package, either like one sarong with the toothpaste, sugar, MSG, no food, but it's just something like that. It could be soap, could be anything. I think it's just a complimentary for you to work, and they kind of encourage you to keep on going, I think. Yeah. Then until I worked with at that time actually the product that I got, that was when I worked with the orphan kid. I went door to door with the American people to show the people's picture to see if they lost their kid. So, these are the picture of the orphan kid that stay in the refugee camp. So if you know this is belong to you, or if this kid belong to you, you can just welcome, or reunite your kid together and stuff like that. Then when I worked at Chunbury, when I got a job at Chunbury refugee camp, that's the time I got money. But before that, when I lived in my road camp, no money. It's more like almost like a volunteer job that you try to help. First of all, you try to improve your English language. Secondly, you try to see if you connect with the white people, you might have a chance to get out. Who knows? All kind of things. Yeah.
Did you like what you were doing?
I like it. I like it a lot. Like at that time, because I like to talk to the kid, like to see, where were your parents? Like, because their life and my life is the same, except that they were so young at that time. Some of them are around 5, 6. My aunt even pick up 2 kids on the road, 2 of them. One was 5 years old, one was like 1 year and a half. She was dumped out on the road there because the parent probably got killed. We were back and forth. As I said, we been back and forth toward Thailand border. Took us at least 3 months to be back and forth before we settled down. So this is why my aunt passed back and forth. She saw that kid still keep crying. She saw her brother still trying to pick up the buck to feed his sister, So she said, oh my God, I cannot, I'll pick up these kids. So she raised those kids until one time when we were trying to escape from the communists to find the refugee camp. He had a chance to go with the French people in their car. He arrived in Paris before us, before anything happened. They took them directly to France. And he, the one who sponsored my aunt to go to France. Yeah. He's such a smart boy. He was so young, but he's so smart. You know, at night, even though we, now I'm going back to the place that we try to escape from the communists to live in the Thai garden, just to see if there's any luck that people will come and get us from there, right? He was so smart. He crossed the street. For some reason, there was a white car stopped in front of him. And to him, we didn't know until he sent us the letter when we were in the refugee camp. He told us the story. We didn't know at that time. We lost him and we were crying. We thought, oh my God, someone probably just took him or killed him or something like that, right? But he was so smart. He wrote us a letter. He said, don't worry about me now. Me and my sister now is, we were at Paris right now. And this is the story how I arrived here. He told us just a little bit. He said, remember you pushed us to go to the front, just to go forward, like, you know, they were so young, so we want them to go first. So he reached the road first. The car stopped right there. So for us, as soon as we saw the car, we are back to the jungle because we are afraid that maybe the communists, maybe anybody could kill us. But we forgot that they were ahead of us. And that's the time that he had a chance to get into the car, and he went directly from there to Paris. Yeah.
So what happened afterward after you, let's get back to, move forward to the story. When you got accepted to Canada, what was your feeling once you first get on a plane right there?
I told myself it was a heaven for me at that time. The only thing that I didn't like was cold, was the winter. Then after I settled down for a month in the hotel, I felt so lonely at that time. It looked like here, you know, everyone is busy. I know it's a free country. I know it's a freedom. But we turn around, nobody around us, you know. Like at that time, I knew there was Cambodian association in Montreal, also in Cambodia, in here. But I don't know, for some reason, I think because of the snow, it made me so lonely. It's just like, oh my God, we have no transportation, we have nothing, so anything at all, if we have to go and get, because even the clothes, the winter boot and everything has been provided by the government here, right? So if I have to go and pick up the boot or the jacket, whatever, we have to take the bus. And you know how naive we were at that time. To take the bus, didn't know which direction it is, even though they told us the direction. But we have to show the paper to the bus driver. Can you tell me where I have to go? And the bus driver just said, okay, I'll take you there. Because they can tell that we are just newcomer to the country, you know. And then, first of all, I saw the food, I saw car, I saw all kinds of things. Yes, I was so excited at that time. But then, at the same time, I'm kind of like, oh my God, it's so cold. What am I gonna do? You know, like it's kind of like trigger me. Like, am I gonna work like the same as the communist people at that time? You know, like kind of trigger me a little bit at that time, just to be honest with you. And then I said, we'll see what's going on. Then when I was at the hotel called Aristocrat Hotel at that time, right now it changed the name to Beacon Arm Hotel. It used to be called like Aristocrat Hotel, and now they changed to Beacon Arm Hotel. So while I was waiting to find a place to stay, one of my I call him like more like my brother too. He's also half Vietnamese, half Cambodian. So he met the girl who worked as the housekeeping there. So they spoke Vietnamese together. So he brought some food, and that lady brought us to show us where Chinese store was at that time. But at that time, we didn't have anything on Somerset. We only had one at the Rideau Center. You know where is that called? The Rideau Center, I think it's called, I couldn't recall that name.
But there was an Asian market.
Yeah, one right there. Yeah, right there. So she brought him to show where Chinese store is. So if you need some Asian food, this where the store you can come. Then he came back to the hotel. He told us, don't worry, we have food, we have rice, we have all kind of thing there. Not a lot, but at least Asian grocery store there.
Was it far from where you stayed?
No, we can walk. It's just like, you know where Le Zadang restaurant is? You know York Street?
Yes.
Around that area. Yeah. So that, I think that was our life. And when we stay in the hotel, we got food, we got clothes, we got all kind of support from the government, like then all we have to wait just for the place to stay. They will find a place for the people who had kid first, then people who had no kid, because when they stay in the hotel, they don't make as much, right? So the Aristocrat Hotel is the clean hotel at that time. And I didn't have kid at that time, so they moved the people who had kid first, and they found the last place for me in Vanier. That's my first home in Ottawa, in Vanier, La Vange Street. I remember that quite well.
So was it just you and your aunt coming together?
No, I came here with my husband.
With your husband? So you met your husband
in the camp, yeah.
How old were you when you first married?
I married in 1981, so I was 81. I was born in, my real one is 1962, so what, 20? 20, I think, yeah.
So you arrived in Canada?
No, 81, I was 19.
Oh, you were 19.
December 1981, I got married, so I was 19, yeah.
Can you describe your first year staying in Canada? Was it difficult to adjust your life here?
No, all I knew is just cold is the one that I had a hard time to adjust. The rest I have no problem because I'm free now. That's all I told myself, and I knew it's such a nice country that you can get whatever you want, right? Like in terms of security wise, you have no problem. In terms of education, you can go at any age, any time. So at that time, my mind just set to be like that. I'm free now. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to try my best to get at least some diploma. So even like a certificate, I will do it. That's what I told myself. But I said, at that time, I didn't know that I have to pay back the airplane ticket. Until one time we received the airplane ticket, and we just go around, and I went around and asked my friend, "Did you receive this?" And they said, "What is that?" I don't know. It's about 2,700 at that time, and I said, "Oh my God, how am I going to find the money to pay this one back?" So I took it to. We have the manpower at that time, and we have her name is Hương. She's Vietnamese. She's also one of the organizers for the newcomer. We have Jamran, we have Giao Heng, and we have Hương. That kind of like all we have with the newcomer, to find the place, to find the hotel, or to guide you through what you have to do. So I took that letter and showed it to Hương at that time. I said, "What is this?" He said, "Oh, that's just the air ticket. That don't worry, they will take monthly. You don't have to pay like the whole amount." And I said, "Oh, thank God, my God. I mean, if I have to pay the whole amount, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because we still have to go back to school." The government who sponsored us to be here, I still have to say thank you to them. Saved my life. I thank you so much for that. They prepare us to go back to school, even though we speak a broken language from the refugee camp. They will send you to go to school for 6 months just to improve more English so that you can find any job, right? At that time, it was so easy to find a job. You know, I mean, not the office job, but restaurant job, hotel job, like those kind of things. So easy. Yeah.
So let's speak about the education. So you were taking English class again?
I came here when I was in the hotel. Like I was expecting the baby, the first baby. So I only can go back to school for only 3 months, even though it's just the ESL, but I only can go back for 3 months. I went back for 3 months, and I cannot keep on going taking the bus because I morning sick all the time, keep on throwing up this and that. So I asked Hương to hold me back from school for now. And she said, okay, yeah, you can stay home until the baby is due, taking care of the kid, then you can go back at any time. But then I found my own way of going back to school without going through her, because I went back to her and she said, your English is good enough to find a job, so you can bring your daughter to the daycare and you can find a job here and there. So I did work. She recommended me a job, so I worked as the vegetable clerk, like to peel the vegetable, decorate it on the plate, this and that, you know, just to make it looks good, yeah. But I said, I don't think I'm gonna do this, because it's a good chance for me to go back to school. So I put my daughter at the daycare. I went back to high school. Yeah.
Did you redo your whole levels in high school?
Because of the school that I went in Cambodia before the war, I got some equivalent. So when I got some equivalent like that, I only went to adult high school for 2 years. That's it. I graduated from adult high school in 1992.
So after
I went to college.
You went to college afterward?
I went to college to take the business 2-year accounting program. But again, while I was studying, my boy, he was born on my 3rd semester. So I only got the, what they call is just the 1-year certificate, not 2-year diplomas. Yeah. That's it. That's all I have.
So you're pretty much a full-time mom at the same time, and being a student full-time.
And she's the one who took care of my kid when I went back. The first boy, she took care of it. Then I thought I'm gonna be okay. I decided to go back to school at that time, just to pursue more in Korea, right? And then when I was in the 3rd semester, he was premature. So he ruined my career at that time. That's it. I only got 1 year certificate from Algonquin College.
Did you also work at the same time while taking care of your child and going to school?
I did that for only a couple months. Then I gave up working. Just concentrate to go.
Focus on school and taking care of your child.
Yeah, and then I started to work at GDS company in 1977, full time. Work from to start with, I was working in the evening, which is from 3 to 12.
1997?
No. Yeah, 1997. 1997. Did I write? Yeah, 1997. So I worked from 3 to 12. Then 3 months later, I applied for the daytime. So I got a job at GDS there from 7 to 3 in the morning. From 7 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. I worked there from 1997 until 2002, until the company is kind of like corrupt. I mean, like downsizing, and then that's it. They closed down now. That's it. I think that's all I have to
how many years that you worked for a company? Did you change? Did you went for new?
To work?
Did you work after they closed down?
No, you mean after GDS closed down?
Yes.
Yeah, I work part-time at the jewelry store. I've been with the jewelry store for 12 years. Now, I just quit the jewelry store in 2018 to go back to school again.
What is your plan?
Same thing, business accounting. But I don't think I'm going to be graduated because so many things on my shoulder that I have to take care of, personal. So.
Was it also your dream? You're trying to.
No, I just want to get my diplomas because, as I said, like it's a free country, and if there's a chance for me, why not? I lost my chance during the war, right? So, I always keep on going, I don't ask for so much. I only ask for a little, but it's so hard to study when you have family, when you have kids. It's not easy, and age too. It's not the same as like you're young, you can do whatever you want, but for me it's different. Don't forget, like English is not my first language. Still have a hard time, still struggling, it doesn't matter what.
What is the most difficult part living here?
Up to this age, I think winter is the most difficult part for me. Still back to the winter time. The first I arrived, now is almost the end of my life, still a winter time. As long as there's no winter time, I think I'm gonna be here forever. But because of the winter time, I might find, like I'm gonna be like a bird, probably try to find some place to live when I reach to the retirement age. Yeah.
After for so many years living in here, did you ever go back?
Yeah, I went back 3 times. Yeah. Except my mother hometown, I haven't gone back yet, Nha Trang. Because I was so young when I left the country, and right now my mom passed away and my grandparents passed away, so it's so hard for me to go back. I didn't speak the language since I left, So it's going to be hard for me. Right now, everything changed. I don't think I could recall where I live. I have my aunt who lived there, but now she passed away too. I used to contact with her in 1983. One passed away in the United States. My mom had only 3 siblings. One passed away in the United States, and the other one in Vietnam passed away too. So I don't find it so easy for me to go back there. I have my cousin, but it's not the same.
Yeah. You were not close with your cousins?
No. I went to visit them. They will say I'm a Cambodian kid. I live in Cambodian. I live among Cambodian people. They say I'm Vietnamese, so I don't know where to go. Yeah.
So right. So after 40 years, for so many years that you've been here, living your life here in Canada, how do you feel about the life that you've built with you and your family?
It's great. It's beautiful. Like, my kid have the opportunity to go to school. My oldest one, she graduated from her biology in Ottawa U. My first boy graduated from practical nurse at Algonquin College. My third one is on the way. This is his last year of dental hygiene. And my youngest one still in the ocean. She haven't chose her subject, but she will. I think she planned to take the radiology or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but that's what her plan is. Yeah, my youngest one is 20 years old right now, so.
I'm sure she still has time to.
Yeah, she still have a lot of time, so I give her some space to choose whatever she wants, and as I said, I have a nice family. My husband, he's still working. He's on the retirement right now. He's still working. He's taking care of his own small business there. And my kid, 3 of them still live with me. So.
Do you ever share your stories with your
Yeah,
children?
yeah. I asked them to watch the Killing Fields movie. I told them how my life was. My daughter, my oldest one, even like wrote a letter about my life too. When she was at school, she did the presentation and she had to write something about parents' lives, so she did that.
Was it difficult to tell them?
Yes, but I tried to hold it, not to kind of let them see that I was stressed or I was like living in the traumatization life at that time. I try to show you guys have to work hard. This is a good country. This is a good opportunity for you to go to school. So try your best. See, even though I lost all of my education, but I try my best to go back to school. So you guys have to do it. Yeah, it's hard, but you gotta try to kind of like control yourself, not to show that you are stressed or anything.
One more thing we'd like to know, do you have some general thoughts about Canada's humanitarian reaction to the refugees Canada? Oh, sorry, refugees crisis. I'm sorry about that.
I think they are pretty good though. I'm not quite sure because, as I said, back then I was so young also. I didn't know much about, how Canada support here and there. I have no idea, but I'm talking just for this time, for this moment. In terms of freedom, in terms of supporting, I think they're very good for the refugees. Look, they still bring all the immigration people from different world. They didn't stop at all. Some of the country they stop after like certain period. They just said that's it for me. They're done for their country. But Canada, no, they still keep on look. Syrian, all kind of refugee people. I think they have a good heart. They're more open to the world. That's all I can tell you.
And what can Canadians learn from your personal experience?
Oh, I don't think they. Okay, they might. If there's a story, they might listen. But in terms of understanding, it's hard to understand. Because I have some experience, like at school, right? Teacher will listen to what I told them, but in terms of understand, even my co-worker at work, I told them the story just a little here and there, but they didn't get it. They said like they never been there, so they might like, okay, yeah, oh my God, that's so touched, that's so sad. But in terms of like completely understand how the mentality is there,
they don't feel the same pain
no.
as what you had first encountered since the beginning.
That's right.
Is there anything would you like to share, to add?
No, I think that's it for today. I thank you for your time and welcome me to be here to show my story, to share my story. Appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.